right, the mic is hot. I repeat, the mic is hot. I am tired. Did you check your admin email today? You got an email. Make sure you take
Oh
care
yeah,
of that.
from Tracy.
Make sure you take care of that.
Yeah. I the thing is I was like, girl, I was like,
The
you
microphone
we
is hot.
what the oh.
And I'm keeping that. Oh, see, those of you out there who have a podcast or aspiring to be a podcast, that is what you're supposed to do when your co-host is about to put their foot in their mouth. Um, oh,
You didn't tell me we were live.
I said the mic is hot.
You said we were doing mic check and then went right into it.
I listened to it already. You know, after I do a mic check, I stop and listen to it. Oh,
You didn't
man.
even call on me to do the check.
You were talking already. There's no need.
Wow.
That is fine. It's fine. You didn't say nothing crazy. All you said was
No.
girl.
Yeah. I was like, girl. No, I'm gonna do it today. I got the email. It came on my Apple Watch. I was on the Stairmaster today and I was like, why they got this email? And I was like, okay.
That's your field now. That's your realm. I'm about to put it all on you.
Oh.
It's easy. It's only like 2 people a month.
Yeah. I'm just gonna resend stuff over.
Mm-hmm.
Look at my schedule.
Never mind. We'll talk off mic. So, yeah. Hurricane Helene. It's so many. Let me introduce.
Wish we had music.
Oh,
I was gonna say no. I was saying for like weather. He was like dun, 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 something, you know.
The less you do that, the better for the entire show. Oh man, yeah! What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rob, hosted from My Experience Podcast. We are back with another episode. Got the co-hostess with the mostest, Ericca, here with me. How you be? How you doing?
You know, I'm tired as always, but I have some lemonade. And yeah.
And yeah, all right, we're gonna let this intro music finish, and then we go get into a couple things, y'all. Shout out to Romo on the beat. Yeah. Fading it out, man. Fading it out. Yo, Hurricane Helene, right? I gotta start there. I'm in South Carolina. I'm gonna have to take a little praise break. Here, world, where did it do? Here, world, where did it do? Here, world, where did it do? Here, world. I have to thank God. You laughing at my praise break? Yo, I cannot. You know what? The Lord is listening. Where did it do? Here, world. Listen, man, I gotta keep the mood light because I know front page news about to be dark.
Yeah, that too.
I'm in South Carolina, man. I'm in the upstate, and we were impacted, you know, by the grace of God. All seriousness, I give praise because though my household was impacted, it wasn't as severe or as bad, nearly as bad as other people. We did lose power for a bit, and I did have to drive to the next major city of Columbia, South Carolina, to go grocery shopping, only because when stuff around here started opening back up, I was like, I don't want to be in the fray. Everybody's going to be trying to buy the same thing. I just want a normal shopping experience without standing in the long line. So I cruised up the road about an hour, only about an hour, nothing big. Just had a normal, regular grocery shopping experience. Bought some bags of ice, threw it on whatever needed to be cooled on the way home. Brought them groceries home. My nephew and his sister stayed with us because they didn't have power. So we had one child and one teenager. Excuse me. They're very well fed. Yeah, so I just thank God for the ability to be able to do that. And even though I did have to spend a copious amount of money unexpectedly, I'm also very thankful for it being available for me to do so. People will talk trash to you or get upset with you when you tell them you can't do something for them financially, because you got to look out for yourself. An emergency fund is extremely important because emergencies do happen. This wasn't expected. My part of the state is not where the bad stuff happens now. Charleston, where I used to live, which is below sea level, on the coast, that is where the damage usually occurs because it's on the coast. The ocean is right there. That hurricane came inland and smacked the bejesus out of us, man. So I'm thankful to have had the funds readily available to take care of what I needed to take care of. It did not feel good watching my balances rise, but I was like, man, thank God, because I was like 2 years ago, I wasn't in a position to do this. A year ago, this would have been a much more devastating blow. Now I'm able to take care of it. I already know how I'm going to recoup and recover, thankfully. And that just brought joy to my heart. But I do want to send prayers and shout outs to everyone in the upstate area that weren't as lucky as me. Some people literally just got power back a day or two ago. Mm-hmm. So, you can imagine that, you got to throw out all your food, you got to check your electrical systems. And that's another thing, unfortunately, some people suffering from code violations. If your home wasn't up to code, when they go to check things out or cut your power back on, they can't, because legally your house isn't up to code. Therefore, the power shouldn't be turned on because it's not up to code, which means you got to pay to get your house up to code. I know some people were going through that. I saw that on the news. So that sucks. And just anybody who lost their life, or just, I saw trees on houses. It was bad, man. I did drive around and saw down power lines, a lot of trees uprooted. I mean, big old trees uprooted, man. It was sad to see that. It was just sad to see the devastation. But things are coming back around. I don't know if the other side of town has power yet, because the last time I drove down there this weekend, they still didn't have power, which is crazy to me. So we shall see. But yeah, that was why we didn't have an episode last week, on top of the fact that I was just tired, just dealing with all that, running around, got extra mouths to feed. So, disciplining, making sure my mom's not being worn out. And I'm still having to work too. So juggling work, so the work-life balance, and just making sure the house is straight. And then just reflecting. I'll get into it after front page. Oh, I keep doing. Oh, I've been listening to the Breakfast Club a lot. I'll get into some more things after headlines. But how you be, Erica? How you been?
I feel like I'm always crawling to the recording sessions because I'm like, ooh, it's not Friday yet, but I'm here. Another work day down, 2 more to go, but just exhausted, really. And then the weather, it's changed completely this week from how it's been. The past 3 weeks up a little bit more north, it's been just overcast, or it's rained almost every single day for 3 weeks. And so I was feeling like we were in the UK for a second. I was like, dang, seasonal depression hitting. But this past week it's been sunny, but it's been freezing in the mornings when I get in my car to go to work. So it's only a matter of time. People are getting sick left and right. Just hoping that it's not me, because I can't afford to be getting sick. Okay, we went over this. Me getting sick is not a good look at all. It takes a lot.
You.
I look rough. It takes me a good month and a half to finally get back to recovery.
Rough with a capital R too, bro.
Yeah, sunken in everything. It is bad, but So far, so good. But man, I'm just exhausted. That's about it.
Well, get you some rest this weekend.
I know, 3-day weekend.
Huh?
It's a 3-day weekend this weekend. It's Indigenous Peoples Day on Monday.
Oh, I don't get that. Mm-mm.
Oh.
I'm in the South.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, no. That is not on my calendar of holidays to have off. So, you ready for headlines?
I'm ready. I have 3 for you.
I hope you got one of the ones I'm thinking of so I can talk about responsibility.
Oh, absolutely not.
Jay Z and Beyonce lawsuit? You don't have that one?
No, I don't. Oh, well, I'm glad that you're going to bring it up, though. I saw it, but I just...
I didn't say I was going... Yo, the music is playing, yo. Just go. I'll see if I can find it real quick.
Okay, so more weather news. Hurricane Milton is on Florida's west coast. It's expected to make late landfall Wednesday tonight and early Thursday. The winds are peak at 145 miles per hour and a storm surge of up to 10 to 15 feet of water. So I don't know if you're gonna listen to this when it drops or not, but please be safe out there. I was watching the news earlier today at work and they had 6 confirmed tornadoes, and apparently that's gone up to possibly 11 confirmed tornadoes in the area. So everyone just please be safe. It's just been crazy with the weather and climate change and everything. It's just been a lot. So just please take care of yourselves. Please be safe. Evacuate if you can. If you can't, please just, I don't even know. It's a rough situation to be in. So yeah. Our next headline, Sissy Houston. Rest in peace to the renowned gospel singer, 2-time Grammy winner, and the mother of Whitney Houston. She passed away on the 7th, reported by her daughter-in-law, and she was under hospice care for Alzheimer's disease. So rest in peace to her. And the whole Houston family, I get a little upset about with Whitney and then with Bobby Christina. So I hope everyone's resting in peace, and that's all I can say. Yeah. And also another one is that we did lose John Amos last week. Yeah. Good times, but apparently he's been deceased since August, the end of August. We just now found the news about it last week, and there's been talks and reports saying that his family also is just now finding out the same time as the public has. That's crazy. Yeah. So still a lot going on in that situation, but definitely wanted to give condolences to him and his family, because legendary TV, movies, film, everything. It's just, we're losing a lot of great people that made and cemented our childhood growing up. So definitely sad. And also my last headline for you guys, Spirit Halloween. I don't know if you guys go to Spirit Halloween or not, or if that's just something that the youngins do, but they are
Wait a minute.
I'll be down.
Because I know that I'll go to Spirit Halloween, but I don't know many, like...
What is that? You're gonna have to explain to people like
okay,
me.
Spirit Halloween. So think of like an empty warehouse.
I'm done.
That's in your area, in your town, in your city. It's an empty warehouse, but it comes around, I want to say in like September, in the whole month of October, and maybe the first 2 weeks of November, and it goes away. And it's called Spirit Halloween, where you go there. It's like a warehouse of just like, almost think of Party City's like Halloween section, where it's costumes, it's knickknacks, it's shirts, it's socks, it's everything that you could think of Halloween related. They have so many different things in there, and it's usually in like this huge like retail space and then it just disappears. They just pack up shop and then they ship everything to a warehouse and they wait until September comes around to do it all over again. So I know for the one that I went to, it was in Tyson's, and I got like this big, like, I forgot what type of hat it was. It wasn't a cowboy hat, but I got this big hat because I was gonna be Crocodile Dundee. I was gonna be Steve Irwin for Halloween, and I was. But it was just like a random store and then it just disappeared. So it's Steve Irwin, like, crikey, like, you know him.
Crocodile Hunter?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy that passed away, he got stung by the jellyfish?
No, not the jellyfish.
I mean, the
it was a stingray.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I went as him for Halloween 2 years ago. No one got my outfit, but it was fine. I was like, you know what, you guys suck.
I'll be there.
I thought that my outfit was so creative, and they were like, "Who are you supposed to be?"
Too
I was
creative.
like, I had the binoculars, I had like the whole fit, the combat boots, everything. But I digress. Anyways, everything is practically almost, I would say, final sale in a way, because yeah, you can return it, but can you though? Because they just ship everything to a warehouse. So everything that they have, once it's sold out, that's it. It's done. So they're gonna be launching a Christmas concept where they're gonna do the same thing for Christmas. And they're gonna call it Spirit Christmas, which everybody on social media was saying that they missed the perfect opportunity to just name it Christmas Spirit. Because
that might have been copyrighted somewhere.
Honestly, now that you bring it up, it probably was.
Somebody got some kind of legal something on that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So I was like, that'd be fun, because I know a lot of people are really big into like Christmas and all the different stuff that comes with it, with like the shirts and like the movies. So it's like you get like National Lampoon's like a Christmas shirt or something like that, and socks, knickknacks, keychains, the whole shebang. So they're gonna be doing that this year, I believe. I'm actually really curious to see if they're gonna adopt it. And also, people were saying that they should have already had this concept to begin with.
Oof. Interesting stuff there. Okay, well, y'all can be festive this year. All right.
Very much.
I have a headline. It's I'm sorry, hold on. Had to pause the recording. Yo, that yawn, tired. All right, let me restart this music. No edits. Straight raw. Pause. All right. So Jay Z and Beyonce's attorney slams Piers Morgan for Diddy comparisons on Uncensored show. So apparently this guy Piers Morgan has this Uncensored show, and he had this lady on there by the name of Jaguar Wright, who makes all of these predictions about these celebrities, and like she says she knows all these things are going to happen. And apparently a few years ago she talked about what was going to happen with Diddy, and now it's happening. So now she said some disparaging things about Jay Z and Beyonce, and they don't play them games. They sent their attorneys out there, and the host of the show, let me find it, he apologized. Blah, 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 blah. This is according to, what is this? US Magazine. Scrolling. Mad ads, mad ads. Sorry. Scrolling. No.
They pay for that space.
Mad ads. All right. Bottom line is, Jaguar unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay Z and Beyonce during the interview. As I said in a moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have, Morgan said. We had lawyers contact us to say that those claims are totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with a legal request to cut them from their original interview. He continued, editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored, but like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theater, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologize to Jay Z and Beyonce. All right, I'm going to fade out the headline music on that part. So, education time. I'm gonna go there, and then I want you to like talk about. I want you to kind of repeat some of like the touch points you hit on with the what's this hurricane? Milton. What's his name?
Yeah, Milton.
Okay. I had a homeboy named Milton I grew up with.
Really?
What are your thoughts on Jay Z and Beyonce sending their attorneys after that host of that show? Do you think they're right? Do you think they're wrong? How do you feel about it? And I'm asking you this because I commented on this on Instagram, and I had to educate the people. But I just want to know what your thoughts are. You being a content creator and part of a possibly prestigious podcast one day.
I think they were justified in having their legal reach out because the history of Jaguar Wright, a little far-fetched with some of the conspiracy theories that she comes up with and things like that. And people don't realize that when you speak about someone and you basically have like these allegations or you're trying to tie them to something that they are not a part of, legal people can ultimately come after you because that's libel at the end of the day. And I don't know, I guess I learned about that in my own journalism classes when I was in undergrad, is don't say stuff if you do not have like anything to back it up, if you don't have evidence. And also when we were doing our different like story packages, things like that, we had to be very careful with the wording because it's like you don't want someone to say that it was slander or anything like that either. It's slander, libel, any of it. And just, I don't know, I don't think it's in good faith for certain people to be given a platform that's just going to spread misinformation and it's not anything backed up for any reason. And unfortunately, Jaguar Wright is just one of those people that shouldn't really be given a platform for that. And I feel like if you are a content creator or you have this platform where people go to you for the masses, it's kind of like a duty that you have to make sure that misinformation isn't just spread around all crazy too, just to get your side of the story in.
That is a beautiful response. Why are you laughing?
No, because I'm curious. What did you say?
Nah, I agree. So, I agree with you. And so this is like, people were like, oh, why he didn't say anything. He didn't do anything, blah, blah, blah. It was her. Why aren't they suing her? So I hopped in the comments and I was like, number one, I said, we know about this lawsuit because it's being reported. And I said, people get sued all the time, and you can go, if you feel like wasting your time, to look up public record of who's getting sued. If you don't have a life and you got time to do that, that's fine. But I was like, people get sued all the time, but if it's not reported, we just don't hear about it. But I also said, I have a podcast, and I was like, I know this. And I said, my podcast ain't even popping like that. But I'm like, you're responsible for the content that you put out. You're responsible. You heard it. You knew what they said. And you're deciding to put this information out to the world. So, yes, they're going to hold you liable. That's just like because I have a podcast episode I've never put out. I had a guest on. She didn't do anything wrong, per se. She was a comedian. She actually told some funny jokes, but she was telling a lot of LGBTQ, did I say that right? LGBTQ plus jokes.
IA.
They done added more letters? IA. Okay.
IA plus.
I don't even know what that means. But she told some jokes. Now, this was a while back, right? And I think times were a bit more sensitive then. And I do understand that she was a comedian. And they were funny. Like, I laughed. I'm not going to lie. I laughed. But I didn't put the episode out because I'm like, I think that's too far. And I think people will be offended. And I also know that the average person, like when someone's offended, they're looking to place blame immediately, right? So she on my platform, so they're going to associate her with my platform moving forward if they hear this overtly offensive content. Again, it wasn't a personal attack. She was a comedian. She was telling jokes the entire interview, but I just felt like that was too far, so I didn't put it out. And I told her, I was like, I can't put that out, yo. I was like, man, I think you went too far. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, it was funny, and I do have a dark sense of humor, but I'm like, I'm not gonna put that out. So you have to be responsible, and then you also just have to be prepared for whatever backlash may come. And a lot of people were liking the comment and like, oh wow, finally somebody actually knows what they're talking about. And I'm like, yes. And I heard this from Whoopi Goldberg a long time ago. She was on one of her shows that she was on. What is she on now? The View or something like that?
Yeah.
One of them, maybe it was The View, but she was like talking, somebody famous was getting sued and they settled, and she was pissed because people were assuming they were guilty. She was like, no. She was like, I get sued too. And she was like, you never hear about it. It's not a big case. But she was like, I settle out of court all the time because it takes more money, time, effort, and energy to fight a case. So that just goes to show you, people get sued all the time. Celebrities get sued all the time. It's just sometimes the story makes it out there. Sometimes it doesn't. And those are just ulterior motives sometimes. Because, I mean, Jay Z and Beyonce obviously didn't say anything about it or announce this, but the host of that show or whoever represents that show, they decided to report, hey, we got sued by Jay Z and Beyonce. Obviously, you get to mention Jay Z and Beyonce's name, you get more attention on your show, yada, 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 so on and so forth. So
like they look guilty.
Yeah,
basically.
But it's like, well, you're doing this for the promo. Like, you get to say that, oh, I got sued by Jay Z and Beyonce. But you're responsible. So if you're a content creator, man, you're responsible for what you put out. Just, what's that shorty's name? Mad people sued her and she lost. Tasha K or something like that?
Yeah, because of Cardi B. Cardi B took her to court for everything that she had for all of those allegations, but she was reporting it as all like facts. Everything was true.
Can't do that,
and
man.
She's like filed for bankruptcy because they practically gonna like garnish everything that's in her name.
Done. So once again, man, you're responsible for the content you put out. Hell, even us, like, our drops. That's me.
I'll be damned.
That one is my homegirl, Sheena. She's been on the show a couple times. She said that, and I caught it, and I thought it was funny. I thought it would be a great drop. You know what I did? I hit her up, and I said, hey, I have this drop of you that I want to use on the show. I let her hear it. I said, do I have your permission to use this? She said yes. All the music that we play, it is royalty-free music. But guess what? All the music that we use on the show, I reached out to the artist just to double check with them to see if they're like, oh, you can use it. But I'm like, I want your blessing. Like, I want you to know that your music is out here. You can listen to the podcast so you can hear it. But I just want your permission to be able to use it. Like, it's checks and balances out here that you really have to abide by, whether you think anyone's going to hear your show or not. You know what I'm saying? Because what really gets people is you think you're not going to blow up, or you're like, oh, no one will ever hear this. And then 5-10 years down the road, or 2 years down the road, or a month down the road, you blow up. And then everyone's checking for you. Now they're, you know how people are. Let's dig in their past and see what's wrong with them. They had to do something wrong to get in this position. And that's when they find the stuff, and that's when the old lawsuits come out. So this whole time with this podcast, I've been doing checks and balances, tap in, making sure whatever content we use or put out, I'm doing that. Same thing with guests. All guests fill out a questionnaire. We ask some questions based on the questionnaire. I let them share their opinions. I let them know, hey, we promote positivity. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but you need to think about your reputation moving forward and whatever entities or things you're trying to protect. I also do give warnings like, hey, we're going to give our opinions. I don't know this to be a fact. I'm just going to give you my opinion on this situation. Things like that. Not just for legal purposes, but just as a person. Like, that's how I am in my everyday life. I'm not out here to slam and slander people and think I know everything. I don't know everything. I don't. I know some things, okay? And I have my opinion on situations, but I also know that we are all human and we all make mistakes and we are not perfect. So, far be it from me to have a platform where I'm just out here slamming people, or having people on my platform slamming people, especially baselessly doing so. So be responsible with your platform. Be responsible with the content that you put out. The end.
Exactly. And also, it's like these people are going to come after you because you're messing with their livelihood, and their life is their brand.
Preach.
So I mean, you can't act surprised if you say, "Oh, well, they have no class. They're this, that, the third." And also, aren't they like broke? Yeah, I would sue you too. I would definitely sue
Yeah.
you too.
They sue the broke people because they know you can't fight it. That's the other thing. If you're gonna sue somebody, be able to fight it. You just touched on something. This is not a sports podcast, so I'll leave that. I kind of want to touch on it, but I don't have my sports buddies, and it's very controversial. Long story short, Devin Haney, boxer, undefeated boxer, was in talks of just being they always look for who's the top guy, who's the GOAT. He was in talks of that. He fought Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia came in overweight. Ryan Garcia beat the brakes off of him, but Ryan Garcia also tested positive for drugs.
Yeah.
He got a year suspension and he got fined, right? But now Devin Haney is taking legal action, I think for assault and battery. And a majority of what I've seen is backlash. Oh, you a punk, you soft, you blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, the damages that he received, not just physically, because you can die in the boxing ring. I think some people forget that you can die, but his reputation and his earning ability was damaged.
Yeah.
Like, even though they gave him, they took the loss off his record, you can't erase the fight. The fight happened. And before that fight, he was in talks with fighting the top guys. He's one of the top guys. Tank Davis is another top guy. Shakur Stevenson's another top guy. And people wanted to see him rumble them. This was a fight people were willing to pay for and pay to see. After the Ryan Garcia fight, now his name and reputation have dropped and nobody wants to see it anymore. And his whole persona is damaged as a result. Now, that comes with the territory in boxing if you lose a fight, right? If you lose a fight fairly, you know what I'm saying? That came with the territory, bro. You got to eat that. But if I'm going to take this hit and I'm taking it because, one, I lost, whatever y'all got to say about that, but because you cheated, and we don't know, you don't scientifically know the impact it may or may not have had. I don't know the amount that was in the system, whatnot. The fact is, y'all saying, oh, just suck it up and give the dude a rematch. Bro, this dude took something from him that he literally has to fight to get back. So I understand why he's taking it to court. And honestly, me personally, I hope he wins. And I hope they drag Ryan Garcia across the coals for this. Because stop cheating in boxing, yo. Go to the gym, put in the work, and fight. Like, you're punching each other in the face, in the head, in the body. We've seen our older legends, how they age with the damage that boxing does. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are independent contractors. A lot of you are journeymen who started boxing just to feed your family. Don't do that. Like, as a brotherhood, you ain't even got to like each other, but have enough respect for one another as fighters, getting in there, putting it on the line, not to cheat at a minimum. And the reason people cheat is because they feel like punishments are a slap on the wrist. Oh, you get a year suspension. Well, if dude only fights once or twice a year anyway, what is that to him anyway? Like, dude, I was going to take this time off anyway. But I digress. I just wanted to touch on that because that's just the way I feel about it. I do get the other side. You're a warrior. You're a fighter. You're a boxer. But in every sport, in every situation in life, every business, there's always this, like, quote unquote, bro code or no snitching and all this. People always do this until someone says, you know what? Nah, I'm going to do this differently. Then the system shifts and changes. Feel how you want to feel about him, but we weren't the ones in the ring getting punched and beat on. We weren't the ones in the ring whose reputation and money got damaged. We weren't the ones who had to deal with what social media had to say and do after that. We weren't the ones who had to recover after that fight.
Branding.
We weren't the ones who bust their ass to go to the gym to make weight and do things the right way to go through the fight. That wasn't us. You know, other fighters can empathize and speak to that, but he chose a different route. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm going to take legal action and get more money. I'm going to get something else out of this as well. Other fighters could have done that. And I've heard other fighters said they wish they would have done that. They wish they would have when they had the opportunity. So feel however you want to feel about that. Okay.
There's a reason why there's weight classes. Like,
yeah, and like that, don't get me started. Because the dude missed weight by 5 pounds. And like, what people don't understand is this. They're saying, oh, it's only 5 pounds. It's not about, first of all, even boxers, professional boxers, legends, former champions said that that's a lot. because we're talking about the last 5 pounds. So if you've ever worked out or done a workout routine, at some point your body peaks and it gets really hard for you to drop any more weight. So you got one person but doing the work to bust their ass to lose the 5 pounds, and you got the other person, right? And you got the other person who's coasting. So you might be spending a week or 2 or maybe 3 trying to lose 5 pounds. That other person is spending those 3 weeks chilling, coasting, because it's like, oh, I'm not going to make weight. I'm not going to try to lose it. So they're the fresher fighter. So they could have turned the fight down, but they took it anyway. There's a lot of money on the line. Fans would have been disappointed, yada, yada, yada. So when people say, oh, it was only 5 pounds, it's the work involved in that 5 pounds is the big issue, not the actual number. And then, once you make weight, you can weigh whatever you want on fight night. That's just is what it is. But I hate when uninformed people try to speak on something they don't know about just to bandwagon hop. And I saw something else today. Ooh, I'm on my soapbox today. All right. I'm talking too much. This is my last one, and I'm gonna be quiet. And I didn't even see this episode. On the Joe Budden podcast, Joe Budden apparently said that he has a better... Let me find it. I'm going to misquote. I'm going to read the headline. Joe Budden argues that he has a better mixtape discography than rap star Lil Wayne and other artists who've been lauded for their mixtape releases. So immediately people are like trashing Joe Budden, blah, blah, blah. He can't, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I made a comment on this post as well. And I was like, I can tell that a lot of you have not even listened to his mixtape discography. Like immediately people dismiss it. But I'm like, if you have not heard the music, you don't know. And let me tell you, and it makes sense. The comments make sense. Lil Wayne had a few things going for him. One, he had a crew that was already hot. Like, Baby, like, Stunner was hot, bruh. Gator boots and a pimped out Gucci suit. Like, big timers were big. He had the red carpet rolled out. He also had the benefit of heading into the digital era of music, but we had sites like thatpiff.com where you could just get mixtapes. You were starting to get music on your phone, so music was way more accessible, and he had hits. So Lil Wayne had a lot on his side, so I'm not surprised that his music is more widely known. Duh, he's a worldwide superstar. Duh, and he's talented. Duh. Like, so he had access to a lot of things. He just came at his talent and his ability came at the right time for someone who needed that exposure to take him to the level he got to. Joe Budden didn't have that. Joe Budden was from the era where you literally had to go in a store and buy his mixtape, or if you lived in a major city like I did in Philly, you was on the block. Yo, people selling mixtapes on the street and you copping them and you popping the CD in your car, your CD player. His music started making it to digital platforms later, but he had a lot of mixtape bars. And let me tell you, he was a monster. And if this is one thing people don't give him credit for and don't really peep, because again, I just want to join in on the bandwagon. There is not a single rapper that I know of, a reputable rapper, that has ever said Joe Budden's music was trash. You notice that? It's like usually bloggers or maybe the newer young artists have talked about his quote unquote music, but all they say is, "Oh, Pump It Up is the only song you had." That lets me know you didn't listen to his music, because he gets busy. He's battled some of the greats. He gets busy on the mic. Now, comparing their mixtapes, I ain't gonna do all that. That's just too much music, but I've heard both. I was in college for the Lil Wayne era, and I started listening to Joe Budden. I was in college too when I started copping his mixtapes and stuff. So, but Lil Wayne was more mainstream, but I digress. I listened to both sides, and I could see why he said that, because Joe got bars. Like, that dude can rapidy rap. Like, he in my top 10. Like, rapidy rap. Like, whatever. But I just find that funny how people they throw their opinion out there, or they don't even stop to think. They just automatically assume. And it's like, bro, have you even listened to the music to make a judgment? Like, everything Wayne put out ain't hot. Everything Joe put out ain't hot. Nobody puts out all hotness, but I wouldn't even make that comparison anyway, because I think their music is too different. But I digress. Okay, I'm done talking off my soapbox. Oh, my friend got married.
Ooh, congratulations. It seems like it's the season.
I'll reply to him later. Doof. Yeah, it does seem to be the season of marriages. Where's the... Congratulations! Yeah, here, here. Congratulations if you're finding love. I'm gonna play some positive blackness, and I want to get Erica's thoughts on it. But before that, those of you dealing with, you know, Hurricane Helene, Hurricane Milton, right? Yeah, Milton.
Yes.
Any of the. Let me just say this: y'all have an emergency preparedness plan. Save money. Have a location you want to go to. Just learn from the past, because I heard a very disheartening phone call on the Breakfast Club. Someone called in to get it off their chest, talking about how they were basically trapped and like FEMA's trying to help, and FEMA's denying claims, and just a bunch of stuff is happening in Florida where people can't get out, roads are blocked. For me, and I'm not blaming them, but this is what I will learn, and this is something that old people like me do, but you should do when you're younger. If you know an area you live in or move into is prone to a certain type of weather, you should always have a plan in place. Like now, like I'm lucky. Like when we lost power, I just happened to, because I be thinking ahead and I actually want to start camping. I happen to have a solar powered battery pack. It wasn't fully charged, and I had a smaller one that could charge a cell phone maybe 3 times. But my big battery pack, my mom, I kept her phone charged with that, and I kept my phone charged with the other one because we had no power. And had I not had that, we would have had no phones probably by 11 a.m.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I happened to have that. Had the cables I needed so I could, you know, either charge our stuff in the car or recharge the battery packs in the car. Also, my mom had these old ass lanterns, right? that take AAA batteries.
So you walk like this in the dark with it?
Bruh, yeah. So she opens the battery compartment, it's rusted out.
Oh my God.
I happen to have 2 rechargeable flashlights. I say, here, you take the small one, I'll take the big one. I say, just use this flashlight. It's rechargeable. It's fine. So like, it wasn't the best emergency preparedness, but at least I had something to get us through. We had what we needed. Food was straight. We had light. We had power for our phones in case there was an emergency. And I'm just thinking about so many people who don't even have that. So at the very least, man, hop on Amazon, get you some battery packs. I bought another one. Get the solar power ones. So you can still plug them in. So the main source is to plug it in and charge it. But I have one that has solar. One has a solar panel and one has fold out solar panels, like 4 of them. So in a super emergency, you can put it out in the sun and get it charged up eventually. I don't know how long you think. It might take a day, might 12 hours, but it's better than nothing. I did that. I'm going to have to get my mom some flashlights, some rechargeable stuff. Because I told her, I was like, Mom, start getting rechargeable stuff. Like, you can get battery, you know, stuff that takes batteries too. That's good. But like, have you a mixture of both? And I just started thinking about like, what else would we have needed, or what else could we have done better? So, you know, I got guns now, legally, all legally. Wasn't nobody about to run up in here. So I had that now. But I started thinking about like food and stuff like that. But I just, again, I say all that to say, man, you know, if you're in an area where that's just prone to a certain type of weather, a certain type of conditions, or anything like that, man, just think of an emergency preparedness plan, even if it's funds. Like, you know, save up a couple grand in case you got to evacuate. That means you got to miss work, or you got to get hotel, or even hell, just have a, you know, God, I would hope you have at least one friend or family member you can say, hey, man, you know, we get such and such type of weather around this season. Is it okay if I, you know, if something happens, I come stay with you? Like, prepare them. Start having a conversation weeks in advance. And I think part of the problem with this storm is I haven't been keeping an eye on the reporting, but I didn't hear about the true severity and how scary it was until maybe a day or two ago. And that's pretty late notice.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that was when it happened. Maybe it happened before, but when you find out and you think it's going to be that bad, like, your life is more important than any job, than any house, than any car, because none of that stuff matters if you are dead. Okay? And again, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying for the future, and this is just me learning from my own experience dealing with this hurricane in South Carolina. I'm like, all right, we got a couple. Actually, I bought 2 battery packs, so now I got 4 battery packs. I got the charge cable with the multiple tips, so any type of input something takes, I got it. I got the rechargeable flashlights. I already got plenty of bags. I got more food, like canned goods. I don't really eat from cans, but it's good for emergency situations. At a minimum, you can get soup. At least it'll be room temperature. But also, just if you ever need fire starter, just get a Ziploc bag or 2. Save the lint from your dryer, from your clothes. Save that in a Ziploc bag. Easy. So if you ever need something to start a fire with, you can use that. And peanut butter. Okay. So, sorry. This episode has been all over the place, y'all, but as you can tell,
it's good information.
I'm just saying, and I'm trying not to overtalk you, but like you just been having a regular life over there.
No, it's been like good conversation because I was like, my dad, he does survival kits in everybody's cars, and
Nice.
we always like laugh and make fun of it. I know that we do because it's like he gets like these big containers and he just like throws a whole bunch of stuff in it. But
That's dope.
it does come in handy at times. Like I remember he bought like this big old box of ponchos, and I remember being on a field trip with my mom and it started raining, and lo and behold, we had to use them ponchos. We ain't had no umbrellas, nothing. And
My hair.
yeah, I was hot. I was like, I just left the hair salon the day before. You kidding me? I was like, blowout gone. It's just gone.
Blowout gone. Yeah.
I'll be damned.
And we used to like just make fun of it because he had like toilet paper, pretzels, or like just random stuff in it. But now I know that I'm like that friend in the friend group where I have a duffel bag in my trunk of clothes. I have a toolbox. I have pocket knives like crazy.
You made me think of something I bought. Yeah, definitely have a pocket knife. Yeah, get you a pocket. Yo, if you don't have a good pocket knife,
exactly.
Now, I'm gonna tell y'all now. I ain't too bougie, but I'm kind of bougie. Let me get the company. I think it's CRKT.
Okay.
They are expensive. They like 50, 60. The ones I got was like $70, but they are high quality pocket knives. You hear me? High quality. Get you a good high quality pocket knife. I think it is CRKT. Yep, it's CRKT.
I think I've taken 2 of my dad's pocket knives because he has like a whole bunch. I took 2 of them, and then he has he has like this thing. I forgot what it's called, but it's heavy. And I forgot that I had it in my purse one day. And I forgot where I was walking to. I was with my friend and I was like, I said, oh girl, I gotta go back to your car and drop this off. It was one of those things where it opens up and it has like 7 different tools, where it's like a knife.
Leatherman is what people call it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I had it in my purse and we were going up. We were going to like the Kennedy Center. I was like, oh, girl, I gotta put this back. Yeah.
I had to throw mine in the trash one time. I was at an airport. It was on my keys. And I forget. I don't even have it for the knife. I have it for the tool. Thank you. I gotta buy another one.
Yeah. And it's like things like that. And it's like, because it's like you never want to just be out and think about like, oh, I really could have like needed this in that moment. And also I keep a blanket in my car too, because it's just, you just never know. So just be prepared for anything, really. Yo, when it comes to these types of storms.
I'm 1,000 with you. I'm so glad you said that. Even just life in general, man. Like you just said, emergency preparedness. I have medical kits. I think I have 3. I got one up here with me in my room, and I got one in the trunk of my car. Funny enough, 4th of July, my little cousin burned his hand. He grabbed a sparkler, but it already burnt out. It already burnt out, but he grabbed it by the wrong end. And so, you know... I'm at my aunt's house, older people. They don't know what that. You don't know what they got. It might be from 2020. I go in my trunk and I get my first aid kit. It got everything in it. And everyone looking at me, what are you doing with this? I'm like, don't worry about why I got this. We need it now, okay? You know what I'm saying? And I bought it because I go to the range, I shoot guns, like, and again, I want to start camping. I have knives. You never know what's gonna happen. I got tourniquets too. But what I did recently with my first aid kits, I went and bought like Neosporin,
Yes.
antacids, Tylenol, aspirin, like stuff like that. And I bought like little capsules you can store the pills in, and I have that in there too. Like whatever was lacking in the first aid kit, like any creams or ointments, I put all that in there just because, like you said, you never know. So that's definitely a good thing you should get. If you don't have a first aid kit in your house, get a first aid kit in your house. Put it somewhere. Let them know. Let the kids and everybody know where it is. I got caught with a promo, but I bought it anyway. A fire blanket.
Ooh.
My mom has a gas stove. You know what I'm saying? I bought it. It was on sale. Buy one, get one, or buy one, get one for $5. I bought one, gave it to my mom and said, hey, this is a fire blanket. God forbid anything in here ever catch on fire. Just throw this on top of it and get the hell out. Here you go. And she just looked at me. I said, I'm just one of them people that like to be safe. And to your point, what you said earlier, a nice Leatherman, a nice multi-tool, because I got toolboxes and I always have a multi-head screwdriver, but a nice multi-tool is really, really, really good to have. You always want to have some type of multi-tool. Like, I'm telling you, y'all might be laughing. I got ponchos on my wish list too, the packs of ponchos. I really don't care though, but I keep a jacket in my car as well. My dad used to keep a jacket in the trunk of his car because he says you never know. I got rope in my car, not to tie anybody up, but maybe you need to pull a car, or maybe you need to, you never know. I got rope in my car. I got all kinds of stuff, man, just because, not that I think it's going to happen, but like you just said, you never know. And again, me wanting to go camping in the wilderness, I done seen enough movies to know you rather be with it than without it out there, boy.
Yeah. The way that my mom, she has fire extinguishers on every floor of the house, and she has two, I want to say, on the first level where the kitchen is, because she was just like, I got kids, and I was prone to always like burning something by accident too as a kid.
Yeah, you got that look.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't ever told you what happened 2 years ago at my big age. I put a slice of pizza on a paper plate, but it was a decorative paper plate. See, wasn't thinking. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna heat up this slice of pizza. I was like, on this glitter plate. I put it in the microwave, walked away, talking to my dad, came back, flames in the microwave. I said, come on, not again. And
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
Y'all heard that? She said, not again.
I'll be
because
damned.
I'm done. I've that's why I can't do Jiffy Pop on the stove. Because when I was in high school, I put Jiffy Pop on the stove where you're supposed to just let it sit and shake it up. It was 3-step instructions. I put it on the stove.
Because that's so many steps.
I was so mad that this happened to me. I think I was like 16, and I was with like my cousin was at the house. He's my brother. He's my cousin, but I call him my brother. He was in the kitchen with me. And I put the Jiffy Pop on the stove, and I turn around, and this is probably what I get because I was just being greedy. But I went over to the pantry and was looking for the box of Pop-Tarts. And I said, I'm going to eat the Pop-Tart while the Jiffy Pop popping, and we just going to have a good time. I turn around, and the Jiffy Pop, and because it's aluminum foil, right? It was flames on the Jiffy Pop. I said, how? I was so mad. And the whole like kitchen, everything would just smell burnt.
Ericca, you are such a sweet soul, but as a parent, I would have had to cut that ass because burnt popcorn, that shit take a minimum of about 2 weeks to get out before it started to even fade.
And the thing is, I did that at my job too.
You did?
Like, no, I'm so serious.
I'll be damned.
At my shoe store, I brought a bag of popcorn, microwavable. I put it in the microwave, but I don't know. I think the microwave was old and the wattage was different. I put it in the microwave, hit the popcorn button. That's the other thing. How I hit the popcorn button and it still come out burnt. So the entire shoe store, the entire shoe store smelled like burnt popcorn. And they're like, and they came on the walkie-talkies. They said, "Who making popcorn?" I remember.
Not on a crunchy walkie-talkie calling you out.
I was working the closing shift.
I'd have been so mad at you.
I know, and that was the thing is I put it in I was in the back room, like, where they're
Yo.
just like, oh, do you guys have shoes in the back? And we're like, yeah, we'll go check. And there's nothing back there. I was back there and I heard it come through on my earpiece where it was like, who back there making popcorn? It's burnt. And I just like sat there for a second because I was like, I was like, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Hey,
And people were coming in and they were just like, who's making the popcorn? Was it you? I was like, no. I was like, it wasn't me. I don't know who was making popcorn.
On camera doing it too. Talking about it's not
Yup.
me.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
You right on camera. It wasn't me.
I was just like, I don't know who making popcorn. They dumb.
Oh,
And then they pulled me
God.
aside and said, is that you? I was like, is it?
You
It
broke
kind of
one
looked like me.
You broke one of the unspoken Negro rules. Burning popcorn at work and reheating seafood at work. Those
Oh
are
my God.
two.
And I've done both.
I'm 1000% bringing seafood to work tomorrow. Hey, if y'all listening, it's me. Tomorrow when the office smell like fush, it's me.
I was famous for doing that at my old job. I would get salmon. I heat that thing
I
up
definitely have salmon.
every time. And then I would tell you, I was so terrible because I wouldn't eat in the lounge either if I heated up the fish. I would take the lid off and eat it at my desk. And then so the whole like floor smelled like fish. Yeah.
Oh God.
I broke all types of rules.
I needed that.
So always have a fire extinguisher wherever you are.
Yes. Anything you can do for emergency preparedness, y'all, please do it. Please take care of yourselves physically, mentally, financially, like we always say. I'm trying to think of what else emergency wise. I think I'm not endorsed by them at all, but if you've been seeing ads, there's this thing called a stop box, right? So Stopbox makes boxes where you can store anything valuable, but they really advertise it for firearms. There's no electronics, it's buttons. You have to put specific buttons in place, like it can be a full press button, it can be a half press button, or no press at all. And you pick the combination that you want, right? To be able to press in the buttons, push down on the box, and then it pops open. You can get to your firearms. Now, it's not meant to, like, if you're not home and somebody breaks into your house, they're going to be able to get into this thing. It's not meant to be impenetrable, but it's supposed to really stop, like, kids and young people from being able to access your firearms and stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, where's my... You can actually tether it with a lock. So if you need to lock it up against something like, like those bike locks, it's not a bike lock. There's another lock. I can't remember the name of it. But if you want to attach it to something that's permanently affixed in your house, you can do that. But I think they're on sale. Buy one, get one free. Definitely get one if you have a firearm. It's really good to have around the house. They're relatively inexpensive. I think it's $120, but you're getting two of them. They're tough. And they're really dope. If you have kids or young people around your house and you just want something to prevent them from accessing your firearms, if you don't have a safe or you can't afford a safe, it is a good, decent alternative that they won't be able to get into because they don't know the combination. They'll have to put in some work to really try to get into it. Like, they'll have to really be trying. But it's a really good deterrent, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that out there because we're talking about emergency preparedness because I have two of those. You know what I'm saying? Because my nephew be over here and stuff like that. And sometimes people be at the house and I'm not always here. Yeah. So it's a good deterrent because by the time somebody disappears, somebody look around and be like, hey, where you at? You know what I'm saying? You can't be having your stuff all out. Yeah, definitely do that. So check out Stopbox USA. All right, Ericca, I'm going to do a message for black men and I'm going to give y'all a secret. Ladies, hope you're listening. Brothers, I'm going to spill the beans. Ladies, you need to be listening. Now, I don't know. I reposted this from Young, Black, and Wealthy. There's a couple things I wanted to play, but I don't want to keep us here all night, and I'm tired, and I know Erica's tired. But here, I'm going to play this video. It's about submissive women. And this is, I will say this, damn, Ericca popped back up when I said submissive.
Oh, sorry.
This is a woman's perspective. So this is pretty dope, though. All right.
Because the power you...
All right.
It's like becoming a submissive woman is so crazy because the power you hold by doing that. I'll give a couple points. One, I was afraid that my feelings won't be valid or like I won't have a voice. What I noticed by just letting my husband make the decisions and just following that, he asks me for all the advice. He comes to me for every question. Yeah. He'll call me, what do you think about this? I don't know what to do. I'm like, wow, what? Yeah. And then I say it, what I think, and then he does it. Mm-hmm. So I end up having a leadership role by just letting him be the final say, but he values my wisdom.
Yeah. I don't want you saying like with that word submit, right? When you look at it from an etymological, you break it down, it means she responds to you. When a man knows that he can trust his woman, he would value her opinion. Mm-hmm. A man, when he knows that his woman has his back, and when he knows that he has that woman that he can trust, he's going to love her and value her in everything that he does. Yeah. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like becoming a...
So, the caption I wrote was, I believe some women hear the word submissive and immediately translate that into tell me what to do and I no longer have an opinion or say so in the relationship, which simply isn't true, but Kanye shrug. So that is if you didn't know, ladies, that is very true. I've done that in all of my relationships. I always call and ask or say, hey babe, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Like, I'm like, this is, I'll carve the path, but I'm consciously aware of the fact that it's we. These decisions impact us. And I know that when I make these decisions, it's going to have an impact on your life, your lifestyle, and your happiness. Therefore, I would like your input because I need to know the impact of what I'm going to do. Like, what is this going to have on us? I know how I feel about it. How do you feel about it? You know what I'm saying? If we need a new car, you know what I'm saying? Do we get a minivan because we want to have kids? Do we get an SUV because we want to have kids? Do we get just a bigger sedan? Do we just get two smaller cars? Like, there's so many decisions you have to make. I forget the number, but there's a ridiculous number of decisions that you have to make. And I think, that whole submissive thing and letting someone lead, again, the right person, a trusted person, lead, it doesn't diminish your role in the relationship, and it doesn't mean you're just silent and you go sit in the corner and you don't say anything. And I think a lot of women just feel that way, but the way she broke it down and just made it so simple is that's how it goes. Like, where you think the phrase happy wife, happy life came from? Like, a lot of older married men, they go out and get it done, but they talk to the missus. The missus be back there. There's a lot of prominent men out there who say, hey, the missus be holding it down, bro. Like, I go out here, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But like, she might take care of the finances or she might take care of this. She hold it down. But I'm the one, I might be front facing, but she got my back. You know what I'm saying? Her opinion matters and she's heard. So I just want y'all to take that in, man. Let's cut out the combativeness. And also, if that's not the type of relationship you want, if you don't believe in submissiveness and you don't want to be submissive, then you need to decide on the type of role you want in a relationship or how you see a relationship and be able to explain that to the person that you plan on dating. Talk about it. These are conversations we don't have, and then you get in a relationship and surprise, this is what I want to do. Wait, that's what you want to do? Oh shit, they conflict with one another. What was y'all doing when y'all was dating? Y'all was just smashing and eating food. That's your problem. Y'all ain't no conversations. So it's an important conversation to have. Ericca, your thoughts?
I agree that it's definitely an important conversation to have because I feel like people kind of get roped up into, I like this person likes me, we're compatible. No, you don't know if you're compatible or not right off the bat. Just because two people like each other doesn't mean that they would work out in a relationship. It's just a tough reality of it, you know. Um, with submissiveness, I agree with the sentiment that it doesn't mean that you just take the back seat and you don't have any thought or anything like that. I agree with that aspect. I agree that it kind of does get a negative connotation, but I feel like it's from both sides a little bit on their ideas of submissive, because it boils down to, I guess, that person and what they think being submissive is. Because I could be like, oh yeah, I'm submissive, and then the guy I'm seeing, he's like, yeah, you're gonna be submissive, and it basically means like, get in the kitchen, woman, like a different type of, you know. So I feel like that's it's important why you should also understand the different levels. If what someone's saying is like, oh, I want to be submissive, is like, okay, but what do you mean by that? Like, what does that look like? Because we can both say the same thing and mean it two completely different ways.
Yes.
And I also agree with the sentiment that you're always going to be able to be part of the decision making, especially when your partner knows that you care for them, you want the best for them. You're supposed to be safe. You're not going to like lead me wrong, anything like that. And I feel like that also goes hand in hand with, it kind of feeds like a male ego in a way, because at the end of the day, a man,
1000%. It feels good too.
Yeah, they want, like, men, they want to be looked at as the leader, the protector. Like, they want that. So not like fighting it tooth and nail with them helps in that aspect too. And it boils down to the delivery. So it's like, I definitely understand and agree with her point, where it's like, if she just sits back and she's not combative, things like that, it's like, it makes things flow, because, bless you,
thank you,
they get to feel important in the decision making, and then in turn, the woman in the relationship, she also gets to feel important in the decision making without having to be the face of it. It kind of takes that off of her. I mean, look at almost almost a lot of like historical figures. Like, if you think of like Martin Luther King Jr., like, Coretta was she was the brains of everything. So it's like, he couldn't get to that point without her. It's like everybody, even Obama, he says that if it wasn't for Michelle, like, he would not be where he was. It's like, while they're in the background, they are also leading, and they're not the face of it, but it doesn't diminish the role that they play.
What I love about what you just said, those women understood their role and they played their role well. And I know Michelle, talks about how, marriage is tough and we didn't always like each other and all that stuff, right? But the nasty side of, well, if it wasn't for me, you don't hear that. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that. Even if you had them conversations, you keep them behind doors. There are discussions and things that you should really keep to yourself and keep between you and your partner, because feelings are fleeting and can be very temporary, but you can do permanent damage by saying something or putting something out there that doesn't belong out there in the public space. And also, and I'll say this to the men, don't be afraid to let your woman lead in certain aspects. Like, I personally, like, when me and the future Mrs. Wilson get married, when we picking this house, I ain't decorating shit except for the man cave. Okay?
It's like, know your strengths and weaknesses.
Right. Know your, like, I want to take care of the man cave. I want to have a nice size yard. And I can handle that. But like, if she bomb at gardening because I want to learn how to garden, I'm gonna let her do it and teach me and stuff like that. I don't mind. Like, your woman is going to be better at stuff than you. Your man is going to be better at stuff than you. So if you have one person who is better at something than the other, why not let the person who is better take care of that? Exactly. Or if you're insecure, say, hey, can you teach me? I want to learn how to do this because I'd feel more comfortable if I did this, or let's do this together. Like, there's so many flow. Right. There's so many simple conversations, but people battle so much for control.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's genuinely there's a problem or issue, or if it's like outside interference sometimes, because sometimes your lifestyle changes and you get settled, you get calm, you get comfortable, right? And you're good until someone says, "Oh, you ain't what you used to be," or "Dog, you don't hang out with us, man. Your woman got you on lock," and it shifts your mindset. You was fine.
Now you thinking at them like, yeah.
And now you thinking that, but you got to remember, they're on the outside of the relationship, not on the inside of the relationship. You know, and you know your partner. You should know when your partner is manipulating, try to play you for the fool. Like that's why it's very important to get to know someone, and that's why it's also very important to address things in a timely manner. Don't get to the point where you resent them or you're upset, but address things in a timely manner. And one thing I learned to do, and now we're gonna let y'all go. None of my girlfriends like this. I'll discuss it once. I'll discuss it twice. Once I see that you're not going to make any changes and you're going to keep doing what you're going to do, I'm going to make a shift and change. You know what I'm saying? If I keep saying, dang, man, you keep leaving the 2 liters open and they keep getting flat, next time your ass come in there, you're going to see cans of soda. Well, where's the 2 liters? Your ass kept letting them get flat, so now your ass going to drink out of cans. Here you go. Like, that's the type of person that I am, because, like, I ain't going to keep talking about it, but I do talk about it. I do bring it up, but I'm about solutions. How do we get to a solution? And also understanding that ain't nobody going to be 100% happy all the time. I can't always appease you. I am not trying to always appease you because that is impossible. So I digress. Being submissive is not a bad thing. Ericca, you got anything else for the people?
Just that. It's like, even if, I don't know, it's just stop letting your ego and your need for control get in the way of things, because then you just tarnish the relationship if you feel as if you have to be like front facing 24/7. I feel like that ruins a lot of good dynamics before they can even blossom and become something, and you're just sabotaging it, because it's going to be another pattern that comes up in the future for you, because you got a hard head, you're not listening and you're not learning the lesson. And just that relationships are ebb and flow, and the roles will switch back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yep. So if you're okay with someone else being submissive, you also have to be okay with being submissive at times. Like how you said, it's like, acknowledge your strengths and weaknesses, and don't look at it as like a thing to be insecure about or anything like that, because that's what a partnership is for. A relationship is for. You guys are partners at the end of the day. And to go off of what you said with how you bring something up to people twice, and then after that you just change your attitude. Well, not your attitude, you just change your behavior, because it's like, all right, you're not listening. That's how I feel. Like, if I feel like I can't bring a situation up to you because you already shut me down one time, you're just not gonna hear from me on that. Sorry, that's just it. I was like, I'm not gonna bring it back up at all.
Yeah, because to me that says you're not willing to change. All right, cool, I can change. So, and you know, to add a little cherry on top of what Ericca said, just remember, man, when you're getting into a relationship, you are combining lives with someone. So when you take a step back and you think about, well, I want this, I want that, I do this, I'm used to this, I'm used to that. You have to remember that there is now a second person who feels the same way. They have those same things. And now y'all are trying to find a happy medium together. So focus on finding that common ground. Focus on your non-negotiables. Focus on what you can make work, how you can make it work. And also, just another big thing, focus on what are you willing to give up for that person. I would say, what are you willing to sacrifice in general? That's a list. Because just to be 1,000% honest, until you really get in there with someone, you don't know how far you'll go with your sacrifices. But like at a minimum, you need to know that, okay, these are things I know I can give up because it's probably going to be a conflict or something like that, you know. But, you know, keep it 1,000. All right, music, we out of here. We love y'all.
You guys got some good stuff today.
Y'all did, man. I apologize. I talked way more than I expected to. I'm glad Ericca is such a great co-host and chimed in when she did. I gave her time to talk. I'll be trying. Y'all know I always try to shut up so she can talk, but A lot has happened over the past couple weeks. We are praying for everyone in Florida, man. I just hope it's not as bad. But I mean, hell, they're saying it's going to be a record-breaking hurricane. So unfortunately, it is going to be bad. Praying for South Carolina still. We're still going through it. Praying for Georgia too. I think a chemical plant exploded the same week of the hurricane. Yeah, and they had like an air warning because the air quality was impacted. So there's a lot happening, man. So when you have time, y'all, just take a look around, see what you got going on in your life. Put together an emergency preparedness plan. Get you a first aid kit. Get you a Leatherman. Get you a knife. Get you some rechargeable battery packs. Get you some of them cords with the multiple heads so you can recharge everything. Get some essentials, man. Just, ponchos, all that good stuff. And until next time, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, and financially. And we'll catch y'all. Peace.
Bye.